Hello friends, welcome in Pharmaceutical Chemistry 2 Laboratory. Myself Mrs. Urmila Ravindra Gaudi, MPharm in Quality Assurance. Today we are going to deal with experiment number 14. Title of experiment: to perform and report identification test on given sample of aspirin or acetyl salicylic acid as per Indian Pharmacopoeia. Learning outcome for this experiment is to develop intellectual skill, to understand concept of experiment, to analyze and interpret the observation, and second, motor skills, ability to write systemic analytical report, ability to handle equipment, take and record observation, and ability to refer standard literature and Indian Pharmacopoeia. Let's continue with concepts. First, proposition first, that is organoleptic description. It is the information in respect of nature, odor and taste of the drug. Then proposition 2, solubility. Statement of solubilities are indicated by descriptive terms and are intended to apply at 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. The following table indicates the meaning of term used in statement of approximate solubility. Description: if the compound is very soluble, that means it is soluble in less than 1 ml of solvent. If compound is freely soluble, that is it is soluble from 1 to 10 ml of suitable solvent. Then if the compound is soluble, then it is soluble from 10 to 13 ml of solvent. Sparingly soluble, that means from 30 to 100 ml of solvent. Slightly soluble, for 100 to 1000 ml of solvent. Very slightly soluble, that means it is soluble from 1000 to 10,000 ml of solvent. If it is insoluble or practically insoluble, that means it is more than 10,000 ml of solvent. Then proposition 3, that is identification test. These are tests to verify that the article being examined in an accordance to the label of container. Failure of an article taken from the label container to meet the requirement of a prescribed identification test indicating the article may be mislabeled or substituted. This test does not necessarily sufficient to establish absolute proof of identity. Then proposition 4, pharmaceutical category. Pharmaceutical category of the drug deals with its pharmaceutical and medicinal uses like pharmaceutical aid and analgesic. General concept structure: first, description of test or drug, then solubility in different solvent, identification test as per IP, sample complies does not complies the test as per IP. Apparatus used in the experiment: glassware, Thiel's tube, test tube, capillary. Chemicals: sodium hydroxide solution, ferric chloride solution, alcohol 95%, sulfuric acid, chloroform and ether. Now let's move towards laboratory for actual procedure. Welcome dear student in our pharmaceutical chemistry 2 laboratory. Today we are going to deal with experiment number 40. Topic, title of today's practical is to perform and report identification test of given organic compound of aspirin or acetyl salicylic acid as per IP. Let's move with procedure. Let's start with procedure for description. This is the sample of aspirin or acetyl salicylic acid. It has color, colorless or white crystalline powder. It is odorless. Now we are going to deal with solubility. Second procedure for solubility. We have to perform solubility in different solvent. First we have to take solubility in water. Take approximately 1 milligram of sample and then add water. Observation is in water aspirin is sparingly soluble. Then second we have to check solubility in alcohol. Again take sample approximately 1 to 2 milligram. Then add ethanol. Aspirin is soluble in ethanol, freely soluble in ethanol. Then check solubility in chloroform. Again take 1 to 2 milligram of sample and take solubility in ether. In ether it is soluble. Okay. Now we are going to perform solubility test for in chloroform. Sample, that is aspirin in chloroform. In chloroform, it is soluble. These four different solvent we are using for performing the solubility, that is water, alcohol, ether and chloroform. Now we are going to start with identification test. First test, boil approximately 0.5 gram of sample, put it into beaker, then add 10 ml of sodium hydroxide solution. Add it to beaker. Then boil this solution for 3 minutes. Stop करो. Now we are boiling this for 3 minutes. Now we have to add 10 ml of sulfuric acid solution. We are already filled this measuring cylinder with 10 ml of sulfuric acid. Add this solution into boiled solution. Then keep this solution for 2 to 3 minutes. Now we get this white crystalline powder. White crystalline precipitate is produced in this solution. We have to filter this solution, and this solution has acetic acid odor of acetic acid. We have to filter this solution, separate crystalline powder so that further procedure can be carried out. Now for filtration we have to assemble the assembly and pour the solution into filter paper. After filtration we have to collect the solid sample Okay, after filtration we got this white colored crystals, crystalline powder. Now collect this crystalline powder and add ferric chloride solution to it. Now take this crystalline powder into the test tube and dissolve it in 2 ml of water. We have to take 2 ml of water for dissolving purpose. Okay. Now this white crystalline powder is dissolved in 2 ml water. Now add ferric chloride solution. Now start with test B. We have to collect in test A. We are collected filtrate. To this filtrate, which is obtained from test A, add 3 ml of alcohol. We have to add 3 ml of alcohol. And 3 ml of sulfuric acid. Then warm this solution. After slight warming, we get odor of acetic acid. Odor of ethyl acetate gets started. Test C, that is determination of melting point, which is useful in identification test. Let's start with melting point.
Start.
Okay, let's start with apparatus which are required for conducting determination of melting point. First of all, we require thermometer, Thales tube, capillary tube, matchbox and thread, and Bunsen burner. And the chemicals which are required: liquid paraffin and benzoic acid. Benzoic acid is a solid compound which is required for conducting the melting point.
Okay.
Let's start with procedure. First of all, take capillary and its one end should be sealed like this on the flame. And this sealed capillary, we have to put sample for which we have to determine the melting point. This is our sample, organic solids compound, and in this capillary we have to put sample. First of all, insert capillary like this so that sample get inside. Tap this on the wall of petri plate. Like this, only 3 to 5 milligram of sample we have to insert it into capillary tube. After inserting, then tie this capillary with the thermometer with the help of thread, and then put it into the Thales tube containing liquid paraffin.
Okay.
We are tying the capillary tube containing solid organic compound to the thermometer, and then immerse this thermometer with liquid sample or with solid sample in Thales tube containing liquid paraffin. Only 50% of capillary tube should be immersed into the liquid paraffin. Then start heating on low flame, so that even and constant heating should be provided to the Thales tube. Now start the solid converting into liquid form. When solid totally complete into liquid, at that time stop the heating and immediately record the melting point. Okay. Almost all the solid particles get converted into liquid form. Melting point is 142 degrees Celsius. That is the melting point for aspirin, acetyl salicylic acid, is 142 degrees Celsius. The limit test for aspirin, that is acetyl salicylic acid, we are first of all we done description. It gives crystalline powder, odorless, colorless powder. That means it complies the test as per IP. Then we have performed solubility test in various solvent, and the inference is it complies the test as per IP. And finally, identification test. Test A, it gives deep violet color. That means it complies the test as per IP. Test B, odor of acetyl acetate is produced. That means given sample complies the test as per IP, and the melting point of given sample is 142 degrees Celsius, and inference, it complies the test for aspirin as per IP. That means result is the given sample of aspirin complies the test A, B, C for the identification as per IP. In this way, today we are performing the identification test